Hello and welcome to a Kidspiration tutorial. Today we're going to look at the picture view and the different tools associated with it. So I'm going to start by opening up Kidspiration here on my screen and then clicking the picture view button. The picture view opens up to this view. It starts out with a main menu symbol in the center, and that text box is open for us to begin to type in. So if I was going to begin to type maybe my favorite foods, so my favorite foods, and it gets my text appears. If I select off of that bubble or symbol, the words will auto fit to um, make the words readable. If I want to edit those words, I notice that I spelled favorite wrong. So if I double click on that, it gives me the ability to go back in here and correctly spell the word. So once again, the double click allows me to enter that text box of the symbol. When I click off of it, the words will then be visible. When I one click or single click on the symbol, this bubble, I get these boxes around the corner. These boxes are called handles, and they allow me to change the shape and size of the symbol I've selected. So double click allows me to edit the text, and single click allows me to change the size and shape using those handles. It also allows me to move that symbol on the screen. So let me move that to the top and unselect it. And now let's start looking at some of these menu options. The top left menu button is this little yellow character, and that brings us back to our main menu screen. I'm not going to click on it, but that's what it does. The top menu option with the pencil brings me to writing or draft view. Let me click on that so you could see when I'm in writing or draft view, I've got some more writing features. All of the images on the left hand disappeared because this view is strictly for writing. We'll look at these tools and how to use this on a future video. Let me click back on the web view. So we're here in web view, and I have all of my images or my symbol options again available to me on my left. Let's go across the top menu. I have my plus symbol button. When I click this button, it provides another symbol to my web. If I have my current symbol selected, my favorite foods is selected, and I know it's selected because I have these boxes visible. And if I choose this add bubble, it will add a bubble and it will be connected with an arrow. If I had not selected this bubble, my favorite foods is unselected, and then I choose this plus bubble, it will then just add another bubble to my screen. And it adds it to the place that your cursor was last clicked. So if I click right here, you can see this little crosshairs. I click this plus bubble and it will add that bubble right there. Double click allows me to add text. Single click allows me to change size and location. If I have two bubbles that are not connected, I could use this third menu button to add an arrow connecting them. So if I click on that, I can use it then to click on the bubble I want it to begin with and then the bubble I want to connect to. And now that arrow appears. You could see that arrow is highlighted with the two light dots on either end of it. The arrows do have text boxes associated that you could write on them, showing some connection or some word associated with that arrow, or you can just deselect and it becomes an arrow. The next menu bar is called your super groupers. What that does is provide you a bubble that allows other bubbles to be added into it. Let's take a look. So if I add, maybe let's look at this shopping cart. So if I create a shopping cart and I label this shopping cart foods, now I can add bubbles into this and they will be kind of attached to it and allows them to be associated. Similar to the arrow connections. Let's look at this as, let's look at an example. So when I just click a plus bubble and let's type in apple, I can take this, click it one time, drag it into this super grouper. You see how it's highlighted green? And now it's inside of that item. When I click on this item, I can see it's connected because they're moving together. If I were to try to add this item to maybe this bubble here, my favorite foods, you could see that I can drag it and put it in it, but it's not actually connected. I can't move them both together. So a supergrouper works very much like an arrow. So if I were to connect these two bubbles with an arrow, it works the same way as if I were to drag and drop them as a supergrouper image. So that's what this tool does. It provides some supergroupers, and you could actually create your own supergrouper um, at the bottom here. All right, the next menu option is an eraser. If you select on something, your eraser will clear it. So I can get rid of this now and get rid of this. The arrow to the left is undo and then redo. The ear allows you to click on a text and have it read to you. This name button provides a student a place to type their name. So if I were to type my name and then press OK, that name would be printed on my screen or on my page when I printed this item. The little paintbrush with a star allows me to draw my own symbol. So let's say that I couldn't find a symbol that I liked in this program. I could draw my own. So maybe I wanted just a nice little happy face here, and press done. That symbol now becomes the one that I drew. The last item here is our word guide. When I click word guide, it defines and reads the word that I've selected. So let me unselect a word. If I just have unselected item and I click it, it provides a blank word guide where I can type in the name of a word and look it up. It provides me that word, its definitions, a synonym, and an image of that word if there's one associated. If I were to highlight a word and then hit word guide, it defines that word, gives me synonyms. Great use for kind of improving your writing. So that's our top menu bar. To the left, we've got other options. These are all of our symbol images. Right now, my symbol is a circle or oval by default. You could see that there's tons of other symbols we can choose from basic shapes. If I use these arrows, I could scroll through all the different options, or I can use this drop-down menu to see the categories, or I could use this search bar to actually type in the name of an object that I can try to find. If I were to find something I like and click that image without selecting a bubble, it will add a new bubble with that image. If I were to select the bubble and then choose the image, it changes that selected bubble to that image that I've selected. Just another thing to know. So let's look at the bottom menu bar. We've got these triangles which change the size of the overall view of your layout. You have your font, which will change the font style, the font size, bold, italics, underlined, word color. This next two ones are grayed out because they are associated with the arrows. Let me add another bubble in and let's connect it with an arrow to see what those options do. So now that I've selected my arrow, you could see here that I can change the pointer direction to go in both no directions or the opposite and so on. I could change the size of the or the size or the style of the line of my arrow. The next option is the caption option. If a symbol or bubble has a caption like this cat, I can turn that on and off so the words are visible. not all symbols have captions. For example, this here is a text box inside the bubble. Okay, so when I show the caption here, you can see that the cat circle bubble doesn't change, but the image of the cat, the caption does appear and disappear. And the last at the bottom is the fill and line color of the bubble that you've selected. So here's yellow and orange. I can change that to a purple and green. Different way to manage the design of your bubbles. So that is a quick tutorial on the different menu options for web view. When you start out again, you have your main idea. You can add bubbles. You can connect your bubbles with arrows using our arrow tool, super groupers, draw your own, and make all sorts of great webs.